10 of the most bizarre crimes from around the world. If we'd prefer to let it be known, a large portion of us love wrecked wrongdoing stories. Which is the reason genuine wrongdoing is an amusement class in its own right. It doesn't imply that we're completely wrecked in the head. We love these accounts since they cause us to acknowledge how extraordinary we are from the individuals who go out and do those loathsome things. There's a mental point, as well. It's entrancing to know how a chronic executioner's psyche works. The following peculiar wrongdoing stories from around the globe, be that as it may, don't have any of those things. A great deal of them really solid like tricks. None of them could actually be considered for their own Netflix arrangement, as it's hard to clarify why anybody would even do a portion of these things. Not to mention sit and investigate the mental intentions behind them. However, they'd be noted for how puzzling and peculiar they are. Sand theft. The seashore is adored by many, and why not? It's a social spot with a lot of individuals chilling or making some great memories, except if you visit some frozen seashore in Norway or something. The view is exquisite. And taking a gander at the apparently perpetual sea causes you quiet down, regardless of how hard your day has been. Not every person imparts that insight, however. Particularly not the individuals who have taken to taking sand from seashores across the world. A difficult that has been filling in ongoing times, sand burglary is an undeniably significant issue for specialists around the globe. As it's obviously exceptionally popular because of its utilization in development. Sardinia has found its strong finds for taking sand. Yet they're actually discovering individuals attempting to take some home for reasons unknown. Like one jug of sand can be utilized to build anything, in many agricultural nations. Sand is continuously coming up as an exceptionally pined for product because of its utilization in development and its developing shortage. Which may make taking some off a seashore sound somewhat less strange. Nations like India even have undeniable sand mafias you presumably wouldn't have any desire to run into. Naked man trashes house, gets stuck in a vent. Canada by and large isn't known for its grim violations, however it has many peculiar cases with sketchy inspirations, similar to this one. Everything began in December 2015, when a few people in British Columbia began hearing commotions from the house nearby. They revealed it and advised the family the house had a place with. However, it just got more bizarre from there. Authorities found a man stuck inside a vent. He was enveloped by protection, conceivably to keep himself warm. However, that wouldn't have been a need in the event that he wasn't likewise buck-stripped. On additional investigation, the entire house was discovered to be destroyed. And the man was expected to have been living in the roof. In view of the huge opening in it from which he plainly fell down, police weren't actually clear on why he scoured the house or what he was doing stuck in the vents when they discovered him, or what he was doing. All in all, they were, notwithstanding, clear on when he got there, sooner or later in the center of his pulverization binge, as they discovered his clothing in the latrine. That demonstrated that he didn't come stripped for the work, which would have been odd, or possibly stranger than it previously was. However, it truly doesn't clarify what the occupation was and why he was there by any means. Cheese black market. We can see that cheddar is acceptable, and regardless of the amount of it we eat, we never become weary of it. It's a generally recognized assessment, outside of the individuals who are bigoted to drain items. And the opportunity to go to the store and get more cheddar at whatever point we need is one of current culture's most noteworthy blessings. Ever envision how awful it would be on the off chance that it wasn't promptly available? You don't need to as that is actually the circumstance in Russia because of the relative multitude of approvals and general international altruism it has figured out how to lose throughout the most recent decade or thereabouts. It's presumably the lone nation on the planet with a flourishing cheddar underground market because of its serious deficiency and exorbitant costs. And they consistently capture neighborhood criminal cheddar rings. You'd imagine that a cheddar bootleg market would be a type of a joke, however they're truly genuine about it. And the cheddar lack has pulled in a considerable amount of worldwide consideration as of late. Stealing Komodo dragons. On the off chance that you've never observed it in a viral creature video on the internet, the Komodo mythical beast is the biggest reptile species on Earth. It's local to simply a modest bunch of Indonesian islands, however, and express gratitude toward God for that. It would appear that the living encapsulation of death, and a lot of them, is absolutely not something you'd need to run into on an easygoing climb. You likely wouldn't readily go almost one in the event that you had a decision, and after it's all said and done, you'd stay away on the grounds that simply take a gander at those things. But a few people aren't simply eagerly going close to them. They're likewise taking them. Komodo monster burglary has transformed into a large enough issue for specialists to totally forbid vacationers from the island of Komodo beginning in January 2024. An end date for boycott has not been set. All things being equal, for what reason would somebody take a Komodo mythical serpent? In addition to the fact that they are risky. They don't have beautiful hide to be sold or whatever else of utilization other than the appearance of unadulterated cold demise in their eyes. A few people believe that they should be valuable in customary Eastern medication, which might be the reason every single one of them goes for $35,000 or more. We simply trust that is the situation and that nobody's really keeping them as pets. Selling corpses on the black market. We as a whole arrangement with the demise of a friend or family member in our own specific manner, contingent upon where we live and the conventions of the land. Passing ceremonies shift across the world, however in China, a specific kind of custom is making individuals uncover cadavers and sell them on the underground market. Apparition marriages. 5. In China, just as Taiwan and other Chinese people group, wedding somebody who's dead is an approach to put their spirit settled. And a few people have taken to burglarizing graves and selling them in the carcass bootleg market. On the off chance that you were thinking about how much those bodies would get, we have the appropriate response, somewhere near 100,000 yuan, generally $15,000, which kind of clarifies why somebody would decide to do that. Serial cat shaver. There are numerous genuine wrongdoing stories that start off with a pet like a feline, however this is certainly not one of them. Despite the fact that felines are unquestionably included. In a town in England, it was accounted for in January 2016 that somebody was confronting felines and shaving hide off them. Despite the fact that we can't consider any possible motivation to why anybody would do that. 2 felines were found with large fixes of missing hide, like somebody had a trimmer. Needed to accomplish something with it, yet wasn't generally excellent at it. The felines were naturally left shaken by the entire ordeal. 6. The felines weren't harmed in some other manner. Proposing that the shaving may have been a definitive objective. The flawed intentions of the assailants aside, it wasn't the first occasion when somebody had shaved a local feline. Local people recall another case around a year prior to this one, when an alternate feline was found to have been strangely shaved along these lines. Whoever the sequential feline shaver may be, we certain expectation they get captured soon so we can in any event comprehend their intentions somewhat better. Wine terrorism. On the off chance that you're not on the up and up, the French are still constantly hitting the roads consistently to challenge a portion of Macron's arrangements. That is not something new, as the French are known for their eagerness to dissent. This isn't about the yellow vests, however. Yet a lesser realized dissent bunch in the south of the nation with more peculiar motives, CRAV, a gathering of balaclava-clad aggressors in the locale of Languedoc, have been making the information for a totally new sort of obstruction against imported wines for some time now. Named wine psychological warfare by the neighborhood media. Their techniques incorporate vandalizing the workplaces of different wine merchants to stand firm against imported wine, particularly from Spain. 7. They've caused numerous spills around the port region that the specialists have needed to tidy up. Model from 2016 presented above. However, no instances of brutality against any real individuals have been accounted for yet. Torching and the utilization of explosives to devastate structures and property have happened. It's obscure in the event that they're associated with any nearby winemakers, which would at any rate clarify why they care so a lot. However, they've certainly been getting more vicious lately. Stealing bridges. What's your opinion about when you see an extension? While many would answer with literally nothing, it's simply a scaffold, the more inquisitive may contemplate how it probably been fabricated or how individuals used to go from one side to the next before it. At no time would any of us go, "That is lovely, how would I take it?" as taking a scaffold seems like something that is not humanly conceivable. Notwithstanding that, spans far and wide have been accounted for taken for the time being, with almost no clarification concerning how it was accomplished. Bridge robbery has happened in the Czech Republic, England, and Turkey, to give some examples. Nations. The previously mentioned case in the Czech Republic, which occurred in 2012, included the destroying of a 10-ton connect which had more than 198 meters, 650 feet of track. 8. We wouldn't be certain where to begin on the off chance that somebody was paying us to do it. As we're not talking some little article you can simply take, load into your truck, and drive off with. How would you destroy it? How would you transport it? And above all, how would you do it without anybody taking note? In the Czech case, the hoodlums acted like individuals employed to destroy the scaffold. Ice theft. Ice theft doesn't mean anything to the greater part of us, who might try taking something as characteristic and richly accessible as ice. In any case, without a doubt, the expression could be utilized with regards to a local gathering with restricted ice, yet after it's all said and done, calling it burglary is kind of extending it. Truly. We realize that due to a worldwide temperature alteration, the Earth's ice covers are additionally continuously contracting, yet and still, at the end of the day, things haven't yet degenerated to where we'd need to altogether carry ice out of icy masses to approach it. So when the cops discovered a man doing precisely that in Chile in 2012, it came as a surprise. 9. He was gotten with 5 metric huge loads of ice in the rear of his truck in the town of Cochrane. Such a burglary totally doesn't resist anything, as the district as of now has the absolute quickest liquefying icy masses in the entirety of Chile. The authorities speculated that the ice was intended for upscale eateries and bars situated in Chile's capital, Santiago, and that there may have even been an undeniable posse behind the entire activity. Professional number plate blockers. Due to being one of the quickest developing urban communities in Asia, Tehran has presented a lot of street laws lately to keep things sensible. Much like other enormous urban communities of the world, Tehran additionally has assigned traffic zones with their own standards that you should follow, and expenses you should pay, in the event that you need admittance to them, particularly in the focal more packed zones of the city. In contrast to some other city on the planet, however, Iranians have discovered a shrewd method to evade those standards and do anything they desire in any case. Devoted number plate blockers to get around the exacting traffic zone laws. Drivers in Tehran have taken to employing people on foot to stroll behind their vehicles and square the number plate from the perspective on CCTV cameras. While a portion of the plate blockers are simply individuals on the road attempting to procure a fast buck, there are other people who do this professionally too, either by walking or on a bike. Thank you for watching and subscribe, like and share our channel.